It's time for the package from China, so join me on this adventure. Today is one of those days that we're going to be finding very interesting but weird products on AliExpress. And this is one of those things. So I always wanted to have actually a fully modded IPS Sega Nomad. And I can tell you these things are freaking expensive. However, on AliExpress you can now find one for not a lot of money in the end, and this is what we're getting. It's a completely 3D printed Sega Nomad system, and it did come with all kinds of very cool functionalities. So I must say that when you're going to be looking at the device where this thing is actually just 3D printed, I must say that I'm surprised how it actually looks. So this is also called the Yuha, yes, it's something like it called, the Genesis Nomad, or in other words the XYM, this 6800. So this thing is going to be using a 5V for charging. It also comes with the charger itself, but this is actually interesting. So the reason why, because the overall construction, it's surprisingly not bad. Of course, this is nothing to be compared with an original Sega Nomad, but the question remains today, will this be one of those interesting things to pick up if you just want to have a Nomad for not a lot of money? So even the D-pad itself is 3D printed. And the same goes actually for the buttons over here. So it is actually cool that this thing comes also with an AV out. And yup, we can play original cartridges, and the overall construction is pretty decent. Only sometimes I do notice that the dust cover will get stuck, or just because it's new. Over here we're finding the input for the power supply and the on-off switch. And at the bottom we're going to be having actually a jack out and a controller port. So yeah, this thing has a controller port, so we can actually utilize this thing just like in the retro Sega gaming system. So first of all, if you're going to be holding this thing in your hand, of course it doesn't feel like a really authentic, let's say, Sega product. But first of all, the D-pad itself does have like a very nice feel, and it's the same floating construction that we have with the D-pads. However, the ABXY button, I'm really surprised how well and how smooth it feels. And I must say the overall construction, I was really flabbergasted. If they're going to be switching to, I think it's called injection molding, I think they can even make a really decent product. But let's remove the screen protector because it actually shows over here some weird number. And let's power it on, because if you're going to be powered on, you can see waving an LED turning on. There are no built-in games that we have seen before with some of those clone systems, but that's it. But there's a lot of cool functionalities you can do with it. But let's first plug in a game. We're just going to be testing out a couple of games like the Mortal Kombat 2 custom game, the Mortal Kombat or the Ultimate Mortal Kombat Trilogy game. I want to use the Mega Everdrive Pro. And this pretty cool cartridge, because this thing has a massive library of games and a pretty good overall menu. So let's see if this is going to be working on the Nomad over there. The power supply itself is something fancy. I just wanted to showcase what is actually the number, so if you need to order yourself another one, or it's actually got lost, have that a couple of times, that you can check out what kind of power supply you're going to be needing when it comes to the specification itself. But just 5V, nothing fancy. So don't use your original one, because that one is actually, I think, 9V or 10V. But if you're going to be plugging in a game, it slides in quite smoothly. You need to like a little bit pushing it down when it comes to the connection itself. But the overall connection is very short. But let's turn it on. And let's see if we're going to be getting anything going on when it comes to the overall display. And I can tell you that the first thing I really noticed that this display, I think it's not going to be like the best IPS panel, but I must say that this thing is pretty good when it comes to that. But let's give you a little bit up close. The front glass is quite reflective, that's a little bit of a downside, but also the audio. This sounds pretty good. So let's fight. I have no idea. I never play Where You Looking! Well, there we go. So the display itself is so comparable with more like this first generation LCD displays. So of course it's going to be in such a big improvement if you're going to be looking at the original Sega Nomad. Yeah, seriously, he's doing it. But how does it actually work when it comes to the controls? And I mean not the controls itself like here, no, we're actually like using the device. So if you're going to be using the mode button over here with the A and the X, we can actually switch to a different audio level. And the audio level is okay, nothing very special. But also if you're going to be adjusting the screen itself, mode button, we can go all the way to up here, and we're having brightness, contrast, colors, tint, the language. If set to English, you can change out to English here. You can even rotate it if you want to, and reset it. So that's actually how the thing works when it comes to the audio levels, but also when it comes to setting up the display itself. The unfortunate part is with the Mega EverDrive Pro, we don't have the option to actually use it. So this thing seems to be limited. So also another game I just wanted to check out is the Mortal Kombat Trilogy Ultimate Trilogy. That's a massive game. And you know, this is one of those games and many other ones that are quite difficult to overall play on this Sega Nomad thing. But you can see that it struggles big time. So what I can actually do is pull it out, and man, with a cartridge like this, it's going to be really tight. Blow this sucker, put it back in, squeeze it freaking back in, double check it again. But this is actually what happens. So yeah. Nothing is going to be happening anytime soon. But the ultimate combination, it's going to be actually this particular cartridge, this multi-game card with the Sega Nomad. So why do I call this actually ultimate? It's because you have a lot of different games to play, and this works quite well. So with this particular one, you're going to be having 480 games. We don't need actually an EverDrive. And again, we can make a separate video for testing more and more cartridges because there are so many freaking options. But yeah, when it comes to this, there is so much you can just play. And the combination of this cartridge and this Sega Nomad, you're going to be having absolutely a blast to the past. But somehow, it does have problems when it comes to some games. I find it absolutely fascinating. So, because if you're going to be booting up some other games, love that it actually remembers. Let's go Sonic and Knuckles. You can actually see that it does boot up. So, what's the difference? I have no idea. Maybe it's actually the file that we're using on the multi-card. You have some glitches over there at the top. But it runs pretty bad. Whew. But this is all I have to do with a simple reason, because this freaking multi-card uses different kind of, I'm not saying just games itself, but let's go with the Street of Rage 2 game. The overall experience of playing, this is not of course to be compared with an original Sega product. I mean, when it comes to the original Nomad of course. But yeah, it's not that bad. Also going for this audio. If you're looking at the price you're actually paying for this, yeah, it's not bad at all. But when it comes to region, maybe you can actually switch regions, but what I understand of, I've been looking into the page itself, couldn't find anything regarding the overall region itself. So maximum volume, it's not bad. A great game to actually test the high. Ching ching, ching ching. So when it comes to playing games, you need to go through the list itself to see if we can find games that have problems. But let's see what's going on. Let's go, for example, with Smash TV. I'm just randomly picking stuff to see what's going on. Of course, having an EverDrive that can work with this, that would make everything so much easier. Okay, let's see, we're having... Oh, we can only actually do that. No, it only supports like 3 buttons. Oh, that's a little bit of a bummer. Absolutely a big bummer. kind of cool that they implemented Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because this is one of the games you'd never see on these freaking multi-game cards. Sounds like the weird thing going on, but I actually wanted to test out the 6-button layout, and I think the Super Street Fighter 2 is actually one of the games that you can actually use it for. Yeah, okay, so that seems to be working fine. How about playing fighting games? I'm surprised how well this works. Also the fireball. With the AV out here, it's getting really interesting. So I'm going to be showing you how you need to actually get into the TV out mode. But how does the TV out work? It's kind of weird, because if you're going to be using the mode button over here, pressing C, you can see it will shut down the screen itself here. And with that, we can bring it back. You always need to do this. It's not like it's going to be automatically switching for you. So let's plug in the cable itself. So I was messing with this, and I can tell you I am a little bit disappointed. Let me show you what I mean. So first of all, let's get the cable in the right position over here. Okay, it's fitting perfectly. And let's switch to this mode over there. And the overall quality is pretty bad. It's really bad actually. So I'm a little bit bummed out that this isn't like the overall quality I was hoping for. So this is not going to be an overall fun experience. Another thing I've noticed, if you're going to be plugging in control, because that didn't work at the first time I tried it. So let's put it up and let's plug in the control too. So now it's actually playing the game, and I just wanted to plug in a controller over here. But it seems to be finally I got this thing to work, but I still don't have audio. That makes me wonder, is it not like something to do with my monitor? Volume? No, it's fully set up. So what I can also try is going into the mode over here to crank it up, but no, it's kind of weird. So another thing I wanted to see, let's switch it to the Retro Cables Code UK, like the premium cables. Let's see how the images and how do we actually have freaking audio. With the premium cable attached to the system, let's switch to the TV out, but there is no signal. So the high quality premium cable doesn't even work. So the TV out function with mine doesn't really work that great. Let me know in the comments how it's with yours. So what is that really weird sound? So another thing I wanted to check, can I actually use the controller now? No, it's actually like only modified if I'm going to be using the TV function. But so far this is my experience. I do wonder what people have tried, like maybe you have like an old school cable, not an RGB that do have audio. That can be an issue, so that's something you take consideration. But I have like RGB cables, and RGB would be like better, and both cables have been tried with original hardware and that worked perfectly. So technical wise this thing is pretty cool. I must say that when you see what you pay for it, but it's absolutely flawed in many ways. With no support with the original Mega EverDrive and many other issues. It will give you around like 5 hours of playing time with a full charge. But let's open it up. Let's see what's going on in the inside. Because I am really curious how the overall quality is of this thing. So let's be very careful. Let's lift this part up. There's no cables attached to it. Alright. Nothing going on. By the way, just want to give you a look how it looks at the other side. Very long screws, but also the way how they made this quite cool. So this is what's going on the inside, and it's unfortunate because they did solder the batteries on there. And one of the upgrades that would be if you can just plug them out and put other ones in there. That would be absolutely an awesome way. But what is kind of cool is that they completely, and I must give them kudos for that, they completely designed a new PCB for this. So this is not like something they cut up and put inside of a case. No, this is a completely different new thing. So that's kind of cool. So if they would have like an injection molding when it comes to the overall shell, this thing would look pretty cool. An IPS panel would not be like say an overall let's say crazy. Yeah, like the display, it's okay, but it's not like the highest standard nowadays. You can see they hot glued it, they're like crazy, so replacing that's going to be a nightmare. But yeah, the spring itself, it's very thin quality, the way I've seen with many of those Chinese devices when it comes to the Sega Genesis and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it. This is what we're getting in the inside. It's pretty clean when it comes to this, and yeah, surprisingly not bad. I'm just going to be honest, I am kind of surprised with this Sega Nomad clone because you don't pay a lot of money for it. And if you're looking what you're getting, of course there are so many actually different things that they need to improve. So let's start with the mold. If they're going to be using a different mold quality, let's say injection molding it's called, they're going to be having so much overall better quality. And I think that would be beneficial to this thing to have like the next level. Of course an IPS panel, a little bit more expensive. How much will this cost in China? I don't know, but I think it's not going to be like a lot of money. Of course they're going to be having a multi-region switch or maybe something of a software in the inside, because I did notice some weird things going on. So the AVO needs to be better. Maybe an HDMI would be cool, but if they can all slap this good together and also the batteries can be replaced fairly easy by a click mechanism, you know, we would have like a really decent Sega Nomad clone. Let me know in the comments what do you think, and it would be great to see you in the next video.